what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I talk about cameras, photography, and all that good stuff. So today I wanted to talk about Lightroom, specifically Lightroom CC, which is the Lightroom that you can use with the mobile app. Lightroom Classic is desktop or computer only. Lightroom CC you can use on your computer, but I mainly edit photos, especially...
I don't have an answer for that. By the way, I noticed...
Computer, stop! Thank you. I mainly edit photos on my phone nowadays, especially for Instagram and things like that. For more intensive projects, like maybe a wedding or an engagement shoot or something like that, I'll use my computer. But for the most part, I've been editing photos for the past couple of years on my phone. I'm gonna show you guys a recording of my phone on the screen while I go through a couple of different features that I really personally love, and one that's rather new, at least in the past year, that I just started using that I think you guys are really gonna love. Also, before we get into the tips in Lightroom, I wanted to talk about today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. A perfect example of something you could look up on Skillshare would be Lightroom, maybe just photography or filmmaking in general, or something like Final Cut, which is what I use to edit all of my videos for YouTube. A class I would highly recommend is one that I am pretty much halfway through right now, which is video editing with Final Cut Pro from beginner to YouTuber, and it's with Ali Abdal, who is an amazing YouTuber who does videos on like productivity and just being awesome in general. So I will link that class below. Definitely check that out if you're interested in being a YouTuber or using Final Cut Pro. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. All right, now back to the video. Okay, so on the screen here is the library view in Lightroom on my phone, so you can see all the different folders we have and different albums and things like that. One thing that has really improved a lot in the past couple of years in Lightroom is their AI functionality. The program can tell what is in a photo and what the photo is of, which is really cool, and I've actually been using this a lot lately. Say you're like, oh, I took a picture of a mountain, I'm not sure what album or folder or wherever it is. You can go up to the magnifying glass, which is the search function, and you can actually type in mountains, hit search, and then you're gonna see photos of a bunch of mountains that you've taken pictures of. And I think this is incredibly helpful, you know, especially if you're just on a whim trying to post an Instagram photo or something and you're like, oh, I took a picture of, let's just say, coffee, you know, so many months ago or something like that. Let's take out mountains and just type in coffee. It even suggests coffee cup, but I'm gonna just do coffee and hit search. And there you go, just a bunch of different lattes and coffee mugs and things like that that I've taken pictures of over years, really, and it knows what I'm talking about. Now, there are some beer photos in there, which is a good segue because I want to look at a specific beer photo, but let's type in beer, hit search, and then this photo right here is one I was looking for, and I found it through that search functionality, and I think that's just so awesome. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is straightening your horizons. This is a huge pet peeve of mine when I'm on Instagram and I find some photos or even photos that I like. I immediately, my eye is drawn to the horizon. If the photo is crooked and the horizon's crooked, it just drives me insane. I myself am not the best at keeping horizons straight, you know, across all of my photos, but a nice little tip is when you go to the crop section, this is where you can manually adjust it. So at the bottom, you can go left or right, and you can try and adjust it. Or if you just do the auto straighten, which is the third option, it's that little leveler and it says straighten, you can tap that, and boom, Lightroom will do its best to try and straighten your horizon automatically. And I really love that. I usually start off editing a photo and doing that. And then you just hit the little check mark in the bottom right hand corner, and boom, your photo is as straight as Lightroom can make it. Okay, next is something that I believe came out in 2020 in Lightroom CC, or you know, the mobile version, but I wasn't aware of it until fairly recently, and that is the Hue color tool in the select edit tool. So basically what that means is that you can change a color using the brush or any of the selective edit tools, and it does its best to just change a certain color in a certain area. So what I'm going to do is go to selective in the bottom left hand corner. So this is where you can use either the brush. So I'm going to hit the plus sign. You can use the brush, the radiant, or the gradient tool. I'm going to do brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color in half of this beer. So as you can see, I'm doing like the left hand side here. I'm not trying to be perfect or anything right now because we're just making a YouTube video. I'm going to erase a little bit of the bottom and a little bit of the top. So as you see, I've done a selective edit on this side of the beer on the left hand side. Then if you go to color, scroll down a little bit, and there's this section for hue. Now I have use fine adjustment unchecked. I suggest unchecking that for doing something like this. Now if you wanted to change the color of this, you literally just slide this around and you can change that specific color. This is something that a lot of people do with, like, say, jackets in like a rainy photo or something. There's like a yellow jacket and you want to change it to be a red jacket. You can now do this in Lightroom Mobile on your phone, on your iPad or whatever. Super easy. It's awesome. Hit the check mark if you're done, and there you go. I have a half blue beer. You know what? I'm going to make it entirely blue. So let me do that real quick and just color in this side. And as soon as I let go of my finger, the rest should be blue. And there you go. I have a blue beer. Now, I don't know why you would want to do this for a photo of beer per se, but there you have it. It's super easy to do. As you can see, I missed some of the other side here, so I'm going to color in that side. And yeah, I just think that is so fun. This used to be something that I think a lot of people thought only Photoshop can do, but Lightroom has become super, super powerful, and I just think that is an incredible tool to have in the palm of your hands. I just think this is so, so cool to do on your phone, not in Photoshop, and just such a quick and easy way to do that. It's really fun, and it definitely opens up possibilities. You know, if you did some product shots or something, you want to change a color, say you have a mug you're trying to sell, I don't know. The options and possibilities are really endless. Oh, I almost forgot, also with the search functionality, you can search whether a photo is edited or not. And I use this all of the time because I may have edited a photo and I'm not sure. I'm looking at my entire library and I'm not sure which one it was or something like that. You can strictly filter out unedited photos, or vice versa, filter out edited photos. All you have to do is type in edited and it comes up, not edited or edited. Add that, and all of these photos now that you see on my screen have been edited before, and it's really helpful when you're just trying to find that photo that you edited versus the sea of photos that you haven't edited. Another cool thing with the search function is you can find photos with a specific lens that you took them with. I really, really love this, especially as a YouTuber, and I'm doing photo examples and I'm taking pictures with a bunch of different lenses and things like that. Of course, this doesn't work with manual lenses, as they have no electronic way of telling the camera, hey, I'm this lens. But if you have an autofocus lens or something like that, you can simply type in, let's say, Sony. You can see there's cameras even here, the Sony 16-50, the Sony 16-55 f2.8, or say for Sigma, for example, if you do DCDN, which is like the brand or the category of those Sigma lenses for the Sony cameras, you can see the 16mm, the 30mm, and the 56mm, which I will be making a video on. So if you tap on, say, 30mm, then all of these photos that you see here were taken with the Sigma 30mm for Sony E-mount cameras. And I think that is really powerful because sometimes you need to know what photos you took with what lens, and this is an easy way to find that out. So those are some quick tips and tricks using Lightroom Mobile. I really love Lightroom Mobile, or as others call it, Lightroom CC. it's come a long way since it's come out, and it's just really helpful to kind of go over some of the basic things sometimes. If you guys didn't know some of these tips, I hope they were very helpful and you guys use them later on. And if you guys know some super useful or super helpful tips in Lightroom on your phone or on your iPad, let me know down in the comments. I'm always looking for different things that I can find out that's new in Lightroom, and I feel like, everybody has their different tips and tricks, so let's talk about it in the comment section down below. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Later.